Hello everyone, it's me, Crystalline, your proactive conscious aging life coach. How you guys doing today? I am joyful in the Lord and in the power of His might. Well, if it's your first time watching this channel, I thank you very much and I ask you to please subscribe, like my video, share, and please leave comments because I love this to be a discussion between you and I. And for my returning subscribers, thank you so much for supporting my channel. Today, we're going to talk all about sunscreen. Now, this channel is all about anti-aging, health, wellness, beauty, lifestyle, and things that pertain to anti-aging. So today we're going to talk about sunscreen and sunblock and what you can do to protect your skin so that you don't have to have premature aging. So let's just get started with it. First of all, let's talk about what SPF factor is, because a lot of people look at a sunblock or a sunscreen and they just automatically think that the higher the SPF factor is, the better. But I have some news for you. First of all, before I give you the news, I'm going to just let you know that I do have notes that I'm going to read, so if my eyes divert a little bit, please bear with me. I have everything down because I want to make sure you get all the information. I'll let you know that in every video, right? Amen. Okay, so listen, this is what the SPF is, and that means the sun protection factor. The sun protection factor is the measure of how much solar energy is required to produce a sunburn while you're actually wearing a sunscreen. Now, and that is the energy that is relative to the amount of solar energy required to produce a sunburn on unprotected skin. Did you follow me on that one? In other words, that sun protection factor has to do with how well your skin is protected with the sunblock on, not off. So usually the higher the sun protection factor, the better. But now we're going to talk about two types of sunscreen that you can put on your body. But before we do those, I'm going to talk about some other physical things that you can do to protect your skin. First of all, you know, you can use something like this, a parasol, which we see a lot of people using. And we know Michael Jackson used to walk around with his parasol all the time. Remember that? You can also use something like this, a visor. Okay? It's going to cover up your face. Not as much as a hat, but we also have a hat that you can put on to protect your skin. I'm not going to put it all the way on because it'll mess my hair up. But anyway, you can use these things that are physical barriers against the sun as well as the kind that you put on your skin. So we have those. Now, I'm just going to divert a little bit and I'm going to talk about two types of sun rays. The first one is UVA. The second one is UVB. Now, UVA, you can remember it because that is the type of ray that causes aging to the skin. So you're going to get wrinkles and lines from the UVA sun rays. The second one, UVB, is the sun rays that cause burning and skin cancer. So those are the rays that we typically want to protect ourselves from when we're outside in the summertime. And so I'm going to tell you though, those rays are always visible. Whether it's the wintertime, the summertime, springtime, fall time, they're always there. So I personally protect myself with a sunscreen all the time. I mix it in with my moisturizer, maybe a little bit less in the winter and the fall, but I always use it. And I want to encourage you to start using yours like that as well. So let's get on with it. I have two types of sunscreen that I'm going to show you today. I'm going to show you this one. This is a physical barrier. and it is a mineral sunscreen. This also is a mineral sunscreen. Now, it's kind of bright out here, so I don't know if you can see that brand, but this one here is Aveeno Baby, and it is continuous protection for sensitive skin. And this last one is Neutrogena Ultra Dry Dry Touch Sunscreen, and it actually has an SPF of 100 plus. That's quite a bit. Now, these two, the Cetaphil and the Aveeno Baby, have the SPF factor of 50. So let's talk about these, okay? First of all, mineral or a physical sunblock, it sits on top of your skin and it reflects the sun rays so that your skin is not absorbing them. And they typically have titanium dioxide or zinc oxide as the physical barriers to the sun. That would be these two. Now, the chemical sunscreens, such as this type, they have chemicals that actually absorb the sun rays into your body, producing heat, and then it releases them from the body. And the active ingredients in a chemical sunblock like this are typically Avobenzone, Octinoxate, and Oxybenzone. And I'm actually reading from the back of this one, and the first three ingredients, Oxybenzone, Oxalate, whatever, and Oxybenzone. Did I say that? I meant to say Avobenzone. You know, these letters are so tiny. Anyway, they have those first three ingredients that I just named. Avobenzone, Octinoxate, and Oxybenzone are the first three on here. It also has Homosalate and Octocylene as for purposes of sunscreen. So these are all chemical sunscreens. Again, they're going to be absorbed by your skin, turn into heat energy, and then that's going to come back out, supposedly. So let's read a little bit more about that, okay? So let me just give you some tips on this, and we'll talk about chemical versus physical. First of all, let's do some pros and cons of the physical kind. And you know, I'm so excited about this one because I just got this in the mail from Amazon. This one is the Cetaphil Sheer Mineral Sunscreen, broad spectrum, SPF of 50. And that's another thing that I have to remind you of when you're looking for a sunscreen. Be sure to get one that says broad spectrum, because that's going to protect you from both of those types of sun rays that I just talked about. So anyway, this one is a physical sunblock, and this one tends to be better for sensitive skin. And you know, I'm just excited because it says save now, save $2 now on any one Cetaphil Sheer Mineral products. It came with a coupon on it, you guys. So they really want to encourage me to use this, and I probably will. So that's the mineral kind. That is a pro. Now, it's more moisturizing. However, it might feel heavier on your skin. That doesn't bother me. I'm going to use it regardless, because to me, if it's sitting there and it feels a little heavier, it just doesn't bother me. I bike outside, I jump rope, and especially when I'm riding my bike, I ride typically for at least an hour. So I want something that's going to be on my skin. Now, one con of this, of course, is that it's going to be difficult to blend into the skin because of that zinc oxide and that titanium dioxide. It just does not favor to go on that well without leaving that white cast. Can you see that? So I'm blending it in, okay? And obviously I'm brown skin, so I would have to do a lot of blending to get this to blend in, right? I'm just putting it on my arm and my hand right now. Of course, I'm not going to put that much on my face. I'm going to put enough to cover my face pretty well. And actually, the white cast is not that much of a con for me, because when I'm wearing this, I'm riding my bike out in the sun, and you know, nobody is stopping to look at my face and see if I have a white cast on it or not. So I just blend it in as best I can, and I'm just going to go on and ride my bike, you know, because it just doesn't bother me. But if it bothers you, there are some newer formulations that are mineral sunscreens that actually have some tint to them, and you might want to look into those. Let me see, I thought I had the names, but I do not. Anyway, you can look them up, okay? But they also promote, these types also promote anti-aging because of some of the ingredients. And I'm going to tell you, this was really what I was looking for, because I got the Aveeno baby the other day. I'll tell you why in just a second. But this one I really liked because of the anti-aging ingredients in them. This one, it actually has the ceramides, okay? And you know, the ceramides are going to help protect your outer layer of skin. It makes a protective barrier. So I really love the fact that this one has the ceramides in it. And it also has some other good things too. I'm going to tell you what they are. Okay, it has the ascorbic acid, of course, which is the vitamin C. Now, we know that vitamin C helps to get rid of hyperpigmentation. It also keeps hyperpigmentation from happening. So I like that. Since I'm in the sun a lot, I don't want to get any sunspots. Also, you know, this thing that, you know, people of color get, I'm gonna get up here really close and see if you can see, are these little tiny little mole looking things. I forget what you call them, but they're tiny, and we get those. And if we don't block the sun, they get to be real big and nasty looking. So I like the fact that this one has the vitamin C in it to prevent that. I also like that the fact that it has the Aveeno sativa, which is the oatmeal, and that is to soothe the skin. So this one, I would say that this one is going to be my favorite, that I'm going to use all the time from now on. Now, I can tell you, before I was using this one, and this is a chemical sunblock, but I had to do my research, because you know me, I'm always trying to find the best things for anti-aging. So as I did my research, I found out that these chemical sunscreens are quite different, and I'm going to tell you how. Well, first of all, I'll give you a pro. Okay, a chemical sunscreen is probably better if you're swimming, okay, because it's going to be waterproof and it'll stay on while you're in the water so that you don't get a sunburn. The other thing is that it absorbs quickly into the skin. You don't get as much of that white cast. It's easier to, you know, blend in, and it also is very good if you're playing sports outside and you sweat a lot. So that's what I can say good about these chemical ones. Now, the thing that, you know, I don't like about the chemical sunscreens is the fact that I have found that these chemical sunscreens can stay in your body, you know, a long time after you've even stopped using them. As a matter of fact, they've been found in breast milk and in urine. So that didn't sound too great for me. And I'm going to put in the description box a link to the EWG website, which is all about sunscreens and sunblocks, and you can look in there and read up on these sunblocks and get the ratings and everything so that you can make a more informed decision about which sunblocks to use. I'm not going to go into all the technicalities because that's a little bit beyond the scope of this video. I really just wanted to show you 3 different types and, you know, something that you can choose from with the benefits, pros, and cons of each one. So I'm telling you the truth. I have been using this for a very long time simply because of that high 100 plus SPF factor. But when I did my research, I found out that it's going into my skin, it's going into my bloodstream, and that, you know, didn't sit too well for me. So I started looking for something else. So the other day I went to Target and I found this. This one is the Aveeno Baby Continuous Protection Sensitive Skin Zinc Oxide Sunscreen. Now this one has the SPF factor of 50, and if you look on the back, it says active ingredient zinc oxide 21.6%. That's really high. Well, the sun is high out here. I'm out on my deck, you guys. But it doesn't really matter that this is a sunscreen for babies. It has a really high level of zinc oxide, which is going to protect you. The only thing is that it doesn't have the other ingredients that are good for adults. For example, like this Cetaphil one has the ceramides and the vitamin C. This Aveeno Baby does not, because it's for babies, and so they don't want to do anything that might irritate a baby's skin. So it's pretty, you know, point blank zinc oxide. So if that doesn't bother you, if you don't want the other anti-aging ingredients, then you can go for this, because it has just, you know, 21.6% is very high, and so this would protect you quite well. Now, it does, before I forget, because it's Aveeno, it does also have the Avena Sativa, which is the oatmeal, which is going to soothe the skin, and that's good. It also has some other plant stem cells, which divide and renew. Actually, both of these have the plant stem cells, which I also like. The Cetaphil has the Camellia sinensis leaf, Calendula officinalis, and you know, those are plant-based. And you know, I'm all about being plant-based. I'm a plant-based eater, and I like to see some plants in my sunscreen. Now, I'm going to give you a no-no list. And unfortunately, my Neutrogena Ultra Sheer Dry Touch sunscreen that I had been using has like 4 of the ingredients on the no-no list. And you know, I'm just being honest with you guys. I've been using this for a long time, and I even introduced my husband to it. And one other thing that I like about it is that it's dry touch. So when you put it on, it doesn't feel greasy, it doesn't feel heavy at all. But I thought that I would just have to, you know, not worry about that. It's because I want the protection of this mineral barrier that's going to sit on my skin and not be absorbed into my bloodstream. Excuse me. So let me read you this no-no list right here. And these are chemicals that you definitely want to avoid. Number 1, Oxybenzone. Number 2, Avobenzone. Number 3, Homosalate. All of them are in here. Number 4, Octinoxate. Number 5, Octocylene. Number 6, Cinoxate. Number 7, Oxybenzone. And number 8, Insolizone. I hope I pronounced those correctly. Anyway, this one has 4 out of those 8 no-no chemicals. So we're not going to use that one anymore. I probably put that in my emergency supply bin, okay? Because I would maybe use it in an emergency. So I'm not going to throw it away. I'll keep it just for emergencies. But this is just something that I'm not going to use anymore, since I know that it's absorbing into my skin, okay? Now, let's see. Am I covering everything today? Oh, another thing that I forgot to tell you guys about this kind, the mineral, it also protects your skin from allergy infection and from disease-causing germs, bacteria, and fungi. So that is definitely a plus for the mineral sunscreen. So this is the one that I'm going to go with, you guys, from now on. Again, it's the Cetaphil Sheer Mineral Sunscreen Broad Spectrum SPF 50. It looks like this. Now, I got this one off Amazon.com, and I think it cost about $11.99. They do sell this in other stores like Walmart or Target or places like that. Now, let me just talk a minute about some more expensive sunscreens that I've seen. I've seen some more expensive sunscreens because I've been doing my research about them. I've seen some sunscreens that cost up to $90. When I looked at the ingredient list, they were no more than this, okay? And most of the time, they were attached to some kind of, highfalutin company or to a celebrity that was making these products, that started to make these products, and so they sell that name. So those sunscreens are like $50 to $90. I don't think so. You guys know who I am. I'm the baby boomer beauty on a budget, and so I'm not looking to spend a whole lot of money on the same ingredients that I can get here. Okay, I don't care about a brand name. I want something that's going to work and work well every time. So I'm going with the Cetaphil. And I just want to remind you guys that it is summer. There's a lot going on out here. I know since we're off a lockdown and COVID seems to have gone down a little bit. I hope YouTube doesn't take me off the air for saying that, but C-19, it has gone down a little bit. People are out at the beach, at the park, having fun on their decks, right? And so you're out more, you're in the sun. So I'm reminding you today to use your sunscreen. There is a myth that people of color with skin dark as mine and even a little bit lighter don't need sunblock, so they don't use it. And I'm here to tell you that is what it is. That is a myth. Our skin has melanin, so we actually absorb sun much more than people with lighter skin. So we need that protection, So we may not get a burn. We might get a burn. I remember one time my mom, who was very light skinned, she went to the beach and it was a cloudy day and she came home with a sunburn. She didn't know that she needed sunblock. So we do burn. And when you get a sunburn, that's when you are more prone to getting sun cancer down the line. So you want to make sure you protect your skin. Just because you have darker skin, and I'm not like dark skin, but my skin is brown, and people say, oh, you don't need sunscreen. Yes, you do. Okay, everybody needs it. The other thing that I want to remind you is to put the sunblock on your children. Most of the sun absorption that happens to people happens when they're children, because their parents just don't either know to protect them or think that they don't need it because they're children or whatever. Okay, your child needs sun protection so that when they grow up, they won't get skin cancer. We have to take care of them now. If you know someone who has a child that's not using sunblock or sunscreen, I encourage you to let them know that children need sunblock too. So, again, you guys, this is going to be my sunscreen of choice. Second place is going to be this Aveeno Baby. And the one that I'm going to put in the bin for emergency purposes is this one. I'm going to put the link to the EWG website so that you can go and do your research for yourself and have an informed decision in my description box. Now, you guys, I want to hear your comments about sunscreen. And if you have any more questions about them, put your questions in the comments section. So, you guys, thank you so much for watching my video today. God bless you, and I will see you next time. Mwah.